All right, so here I am over the past couple of days, weeks, whatever it has been for you, and I'm giving you all these tips, and I'm giving you, a bunch of information that I think is going to help you. And so inevitably the question comes up, why should you listen to me? I mean, what kind of expert or, do I proclaim to be? And that's a really great question, and I think it's reasonable for you to ask. The first thing that I want to address when you ask that question is, the first thing I want you to do is to not listen to what I have to say, or at least question what I have to say. And the reason that I say that is because there's a ton of experts out there, including myself, and they're filling the marketplace with all this different information, and some of it's even conflicting. And so ultimately, even though we proclaim ourselves to be experts, there is only one person that knows you, the best out of everybody, and that is you. So even though we may have a lot of information and we are experts in the industry, we don't know you the way that we know, that you know yourself. We don't know your body. We don't know the things that you've done or the things that you haven't done. And so we're going to come forth and we're going to give you, tips and points and things that have worked for us. But ultimately, it's up to you to take them in, to question them and feel whether or not they're going to fit for your life, and to decide for yourself whether or not this stuff is going to work for you. But the reason that I feel like I have a little bit of a value to bring is because of my experience. Now, before I go into that, let me give you a little bit of background and say I also do have some fundamental or basic education on this area. I went to school at Montana State and I studied exercise and physiology and specialized in wellness. And so as far as the nutrition, as far as the training aspect, I do have the professional or the formal education to back that up. I've studied with some of the leading experts in the world as far as nutrition goes. I was also a personal trainer for many years. I taught fitness and still do. I still do that on the side for people that want it. But I think the things that gives me the most credibility is the fact that I have been there and I have experienced on the level, what it feels like to have a relationship with food to the point where it feels like you're powerless. And my experience comes on the full edge of the spectrum, I think, because there was places in my life where I was like a health expert. I was just a guru. But then I got to a place where all of a sudden I had some situations that came up in my life and I totally shifted and I went to food as a comfort, and I, created that relationship to the point where it was compulsive, and some people would call it addictive. I know that I was in and out of treatment centers and felt completely powerless. And through my own struggles back when I was going through that stuff, there wasn't a lot of help, professional help, and so I basically just kind of had to find my own way, create my own path on how to overcome each of the obstacles and the challenges and the barriers that come associated with a relationship with food and emotionally eating, overeating, binge eating. So I've kind of seen a lot of it and been there. And so I feel like my biggest strength is probably just the whole, I've walked the walk, so therefore I feel like I can talk, I can talk my talk, because I feel like I have a depth of knowledge that goes beyond the textbooks. Instead of just knowing what it is to do, I actually know how it feels to get there and do it. And that's where I feel like I can bring the best value to you and why I'm here today sharing this information.